Hello, everyone. It is I, Robbie Rapole, back with another episode of The Rad Movement on YouTube. And today, I know it's a pretty heavy title, right? Killing Myself Slowly. And really, the concept was brought up to me by one of my son Jaden's friends, Brandon. Shout out eternal.exe on Instagram. Hey. He's one of the members of Jaden's music collective that he's a part of. And so he was like, hey man, you should, because I was like, guys, what do you got for, topics for the rap movement today? And, he was like, man, talk about complacency. And, I was like, huh, okay. That's pretty cool. Because, complacency can come to us in any level of life. I've been complacent in a number of places. And it always, to me, kind of equates to unhappiness. When you get so complacent that you're just like, all right, well, I work too much, or I don't work enough, or I make, not enough money, or I'm just unhappy in my position, I'm unhappy in my role, I'm unhappy with the quality of work I put out, unhappiness in any level, right? So like, what are you unhappy about? What are you tired of? What are you over dealing with? What are you over, allowing to happen that you don't want to happen? Because complacency can come in so many ways. It can come like in the way of, you're this crazy corporate CEO and you're just always working. And you don't have time for family. And, you just don't have time for anything other than work. And work consumes you and work slowly killing you. Things like that. I felt like my work has slowly killed me a number of times in the past. I've gotten to the point where I got complacent with partying too much and drinking too much when I was on the road, and like just not taking care of myself and eating like shit, and just like this perpetuating cycle of getting stuck in doing great financially, and with work and. Getting my name out there and, traveling and doing cool tattoos and winning awards, right? Like I got complacent living in like this rat race there. And it's weird because like tattooing has become a job so many times because of how I've treated it. And, with the baby now, it's helped me refocus again to where tattooing is super fun again. And I feel very vibrant in it. And like tattooing's always been fun. Even in the times when it was like too hard, it was like tattooing is my escape from the reality I've created with tattooing to a degree, right? So like when it got to be where I didn't like my job, I still loved my job. I still loved doing it, but I didn't like what it was doing to me. So like, that's a really weird thing because my job is so much fun. And I am so whole every time I complete a new piece. So much more whole than I was before, right? So like, it's just this weird thing of like getting stuck in knowing I want to do better with my life and then not doing better with your life because it's hard. Getting stuck in analysis paralysis where you're like paralyzed by the possibilities you've got in front of you, that you're just studying everything so much you can't even make a decision. There's so many other different forms of this too. These are just a couple of recommendations of possibilities of what you may be going through in the realm of, getting stuck, getting complacent. Because being complacent is being stuck. How many times you've been like, I'm just stuck. I've been stuck in a health period in my life for a while, like training and eating better just has never put me over the edge recently until now, when I've started to make some really more mega changes and take on a different approach to training, and the trainer I have, and just helping, like having the doctor get involved in my health with my gym and my diet, and like trying to really get things in line, right? And learning that, like, oh wow, I have been complacent and just being like stuck, and I can't. For some reason, I got stuck in this mindset of I can't, and that's not who I am. We all know this, right? But it is. The reason why it's not who I am is because I don't want to live that way. So I make it not who I am. So like being stuck is weird for me, because like it's just not something I'd like want to live in. And I've built this person out of all these situations that I don't want to relive, and then find myself reliving them sometimes. So I've learned from the situation, but then I've got to relearn sometimes. Getting complacent is normal. Getting stuck is normal. Plateauing is something they call it in the health and fitness world. You know, I've plateaued. I can't lift more. I can't lose weight more. I can't gain this much more muscle, right? Like, so we all plateau in different levels of our life and business. Sometimes we plateau at, 25,000 a year, 50,000 a year, 6 figures, 7 figures for some people, and so on and so forth, 8 figures, 9 figures. Like sometimes we get stuck in like, oh, I can only do this much, when really the former version of ourselves is looking at us with pride and envy, even like, man, what a great life that guy's getting to live. And then bridging the gap between the two, I am the former version of myself, and I'm doing everything in this part of my life for him as well. Like doing things for your future self, because in doing something for your future self, your past self gets some healing too. So, I try to make my life work for me. And I've not always done that. And I'm trying to step around some situations that, poor family history and then poor practice have brought into my life. So I'm, retraining the practices. So upper limit triggers, different levels, different devils, right? So like when you start going into a new stance or a new point or breaking through, a lot of it, we just have a hard time getting past, because like, if for example, I've just taken this different approach than I've been with my health, and I started exercising a lot more, and I started eating right a lot more again, and then my gout flared up. And then I had to realize, man, sometimes when I'm changing things in my life, you shake things up. It was told to me in a little concept of when you have a dark fluid in a container in your sink and you start running water in it. It takes a while for all the dark fluid to really get out of there, because you're slowly introducing something new, and you've got to push all the old bad out to make room for the new. So it's really interesting how, like, when we're pushing a lot of our old bad out with the new, it comes to the surface and we feel it. And then we're like, I don't want to do this. So I have not strayed away. I've stayed on a more solid path with the diet, because I believe that once I retrain my body again, this gout flare-up will calm down, figure out what the right diet is that I should be eating, and get myself to a place where my body is running on better functions, right? So like, just because it goes backwards sometimes, or just because, something gets more difficult, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. The gym is difficult, but that brings, something so much better in so many ways. Eating healthy is difficult, but that extends your life and gives you so much more in so many ways. Persevering in business is difficult. Being in relationships is difficult. So all these things that are difficult are usually difficult on the front end, but then bring such a rewarding yield on the other side. So remember, just because it's difficult doesn't mean it's bad for you. Probably means it's good for you. And just because it's simple doesn't mean it's easy. I keep falling into that trick. Even as I'm like, oh, well, it's simple. It's going to be easy. And then my other side of my brain is like, dude, simple doesn't mean easy. And I'm like, but that says simple and easy, right? So simple and easy. So it's really weird how I get stuck in my own shit when I know better. So just because you know better doesn't mean you're always going to be able to sidestep your bullshit. So getting complacent, being stuck, it's normal. Plateauing, it's normal. It's a part of the process. So as I say this to y'all, I say this to myself. And I notice I've not been looking at the camera a lot for this one. And I might be a little ashamed. Because I feel kind of real about it. I don't know. But the beauty of this all is I'm not getting complacent again because I'm just getting out of it. But yeah, we are going to get complacent again. We all are. We're all going to get stuck. And discomfort is a way for us to know that it's an indicator for change. So if change is needed, you might be really uncomfortable right now, and that's okay. But stop killing yourself slowly and start just fucking living. We got a great life here. And chances are, former versions of yourself would really look up to who you are right now, where you are right now. So remember that. Life is a beautiful fucking thing. It is a gift. Even if it's difficult, it's still beautiful. And there's always areas you could find beauty. So look for the beauty just as much as we tend to look for the pain. And I think you'll have quite the nice life. So, yeah. I'm Robbie. I'm rad and so are you. I love you. Have a great fucking day.